a.m. West African time. Today is Wednesday. Some say Wednesday, some say wedding next day. But it's the 8th day of November 2023, Wednesday, right here at Rythme 937 called Harcourt. So on Wednesday, at this time, we actually talk to someone very important who is a security expert, and he's known as Ambassador Bosinde Araikpe. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on radio.
The pleasure is all mine. The pleasure is all mine.
So what is in for today, as our listeners are eager to hear from you?
Well, basically today on Security Breach, we're going to be looking at security projections based on issues at hand. Security projections based on issues at hand. Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's go into it.
Okay, well, basically, I hope they can hear.
Yes, clearly.
So fine, so good. So basically, I don't know if it's up to fortnight ago or should I say 1 week ago, 1.5 weeks ago.
The fortnight is more of a biblical term. It's seldom used now.
Okay.
I think it refers to 2 weeks or something. A fortnight.
Right. Well, basically, in more than 1 week now, in about almost 2 weeks, the state had a political issue where the State House of Assembly got fire or exploded or something happened. But the point is that the assembly was put in a state of chaos, kind of, and we saw rallies and demonstrations. We even saw the executive governor of Rivers State, Sim Minalaye Fubara, and we even saw him. He even addressed the press, and a lot happened with regards to a political crisis supposedly to be internally within the government, not with the public, not with the citizens. You understand me?
Yeah.
More like an internal political crisis on the surface that appears to be that of the assembly and the governor on the surface. Am I correct?
Yeah, which he actually said, he validated what you just said, that is a family affair, father and son issue.
Good. So, however, the father and son issue should be noted that when a father has children and his son now has children too, and the children will be affected, and in this case the son's children is the state. You understand? Because the son is the governor. So that is it. So the point is that it affected the security architecture of the state, whether you like it or not. So when you look at matter at hand, security projection based on that thing that happened. Now that thing is a crisis, like it or not. So what are the security projections we should be looking at after that happened? First of all, when that happened and during the demonstration and everything, every gang member in this state, one way or the other, came out for demonstration.
Every gang member, one way or the other,
came out for demonstration, either publicly or privately. You understand what I'm saying? You understand me? For people like I went to Stella Maris College. For people who live within the Borokri axis, they can understand what I'm saying. The Diobu axis and then the Riverine area. We saw a lot of people that ordinarily don't want to come out or don't come out. Then we also saw some religious sentiment attached to that crisis. You understand me?
Yes.
So moving forward, what do we expect now moving forward in security projection? Today's program is basically to advise our security agencies, the Department of State Service, the Nigerian Police Force. These two security agencies are, one gathers intelligence and one is the lead internal security agency of the Federal Republic. They should be mindful of issues such as bunkering. The previous administration had fought bunkering to a standstill to an extent. You understand me? Now, with this crisis that has happened, it will give the mind to those people who are into illegal oil refinery, popularly known as bunkering, to return back to the business of doing bunkering, illegal oil refining, and it will increase a whole lot. It will increase a whole lot. Why will they do that? Because one, people who do this illegal oil refining, most of them are armed already. You understand? So crises in the states, especially internal crises like this, are taken advantage of by this set of persons.
Okay.
To pledge their allegiance or loyalty to a fraction or a set or a person within the crisis. and by that allegiance, earn the right to go back to practice this their business as a source of raising funds for themselves. And at that point, the person, whether in government or out of government, so long as allegiance has been pledged to them, will look the other way and allow them to continue what they do. You understand? So we're going to begin to see a little bit of uprise in the issues of bunkering and all of that, and we're going to see that. Another area where we are going to be seeing a rise again with regards to insecurity is the issue of thuggery. Thuggery was almost becoming something coded, something people only do when the need arise or close to election time. You understand me? And that's because the state has successfully been able to manage state and non-state actors with regards to security. But with this current issue, the issue of thuggery will come out again. Thuggeries will come out, and it will come out again in a certain form. So in the coming days and weeks, if we begin to give you projection with regards to thuggery, you begin to hear issues of people being beaten up, people's house being destroyed, people being drilled, people being, it might even get to assassination. But you hear issues of people being drilled, people being beaten up by a set and a gang of young men and blah, blah, blah. A lot of things within these regards will be happening. So what should the security agencies do? The security agencies should be proactive enough with regards to these areas that I've mentioned. They should carry on raids under the judge's rule. They should carry on raids that will help them to get these people who might intend to distort the state as well as the peace of the state. So the police, the DSS should properly gather intelligence and ensure such intelligence as usual is passed to the police to carry out such operations of raids, to be able to bring to book before these things happen. They nip them in the bud. So intelligence should be, you understand me, at this point in time, wherever more than 2, 3, 4, 5 youth is gathered, I think we should try to know what they are discussing, especially in certain areas. Now, I'm telling you,
no, say, I didn't want to laugh because as a pastor, which I am, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, then my mind just drifted to in his name. God is in their midst.
I didn't mention in his name. But the security agency, they understand what I'm saying. So they have people who give them informations and other things.
But that can be also misleading. There could be some set of young men who just watch soccer or played, and they are sitting at the bar. Well, there are more than even 3. I've
DSS,
seen many.
For example, the DSS
doesn't mean they're planning
anybody
anything.
From the DSS is listening to me, if the authorities within the Department of State Service is listening to me, I'm sure they know what I'm talking about. Of course, they will not go on the road and start looking for young men discussing. They know what I mean. They know where to look.
Okay.
But I don't need everybody don't need to understand what I'm saying.
No, because I was concerned about friends who don't mean anything stay somewhere before you know they will say, "Come on, you're gathering here. Who are you, Baba?"
First of all, I'm not even saying they should go to them with guns red hot. It's not a kinetic operation. It's a non-kinetic operation. You understand me? It's intelligence gathering we're talking about. You understand me? There is even nothing wrong with gathering intelligence from where they play football, where they watch matches and all of that. So long as it's mere intelligence gathering. After all, you're on these guys. So nobody knows you. It's not like you're going in official. That's the job of the State Department.
Yeah.
So now when that is done,
investigation.
yes, when they have gotten those intelligence and they see them credible, they analyze it and it becomes a credible intelligence for them. Of course, they should relate to the police and carry out raids. The idea behind this is not that they are hunting anybody in particular. It's just to dislodge criminal activities before they happen that we want to capitalize on the past recent internal crisis within the government to want to bring mayhem, to the people so we can still have peace. That is one. Another thing that we think should happen is that the police should have meetings with stakeholders at this point. During the crisis, the name of the police was mentioned. The police authorities and hierarchies were mentioned. In fact, the governor personally mentioned a deputy commissioner of police in charge of operations in the command. So I think at this point that the police in the command, led by the current commissioner of police, should be able to have stakeholders meetings, not public meetings. When I mean stakeholders meeting, I don't mean the one they do and they invite all the traditional rulers and they come and sit down and talk. No, not that kind of meeting. Not that kind of meeting. They should move now. They also know their way around these things. To have meetings with stakeholders, private serious meetings with stakeholders. They should do such things now. Why? So these stakeholders can return back to their areas that they are prominent, areas where they have loyalists, areas where they have people that look up to them, to ensure that the state does not move a step further into chaos or any kind again. That's what the police should be doing at this time, with also working with the DSS to ensure they raid those criminal hideouts. Now, that's for the police. Now, what should the people do? What should the citizens do? Because stray bullet can even kill the manufacturer of the bullet if it hits him, you understand? So what I'm saying is, yes, the citizen, I know concern me, it concern you well. What should they do? What the citizens should do now is this. If you see something, you say something. But don't say it anyhow. If you have information, you take it to the appropriate authority. Now the challenge we're going to have this sitting is that some people already have the mindset, believing that one of the security agencies might be loyal to a party and all of that. So because of that, it's going to be difficult for the citizens to bring informations directly to the police, you understand me, or to any security agency, if they feel the way I have just said, you understand? So moving forward, however, if you see something, if you hear something, still go to the authority. You can go on an anonymous level to them. They have these information boxes that are provided in different places. You can drop it there. Or you can walk up to the police headquarters and go to the officer of the State Intelligence Bureau, SIB, and drop those intelligence there. You understand, with them. Then that is one. Secondly, you must be extremely careful. You must be careful. If you live in an isolated area where in the past you've seen young men gather, maybe smoking weed or something, you understand? And if you still live in those environments, you must be careful enough to know if those young boys are not increasing in that place, and if they more of discuss a lot there, then you should know they are using it as a sleeper cell. You understand me? And it will be in your best interest, aside just making reports, too, if you have a place to go, relocate within the time being, so that if the need arise and those boys, maybe they are one of the people intelligence gets and they are being raided, it might not affect you. You understand me? And also, if you are the type that you like staying out late at night, now is not the best time for Dorime. You understand me?
Dorime has been decimated.
Now is the best time for you to take care of yourself. How do you do that? When you close your job, you go home and unwind. If you have a family, the money you spend in buying those drinks, take it home. Buy things for your wife. Buy things for your children. Make them happy. They deserve it too. I know you do that a lot, but for this time now, do it so that you can relax. Subscribe to all subscription you want to subscribe to that will keep you at home. And then keep yourself safe. You understand me? Two, those of you that have very, very flashy cars. When I mean flashy cars, those of you that are driving the car, the kind of cars I dream about, that I want to own, and you already own it before me, no problem. Now is the time that you own that car before me. Now is the time I will advise you to look for a smaller one like the ones I now own currently. You understand me? In your fleet of cars, get a small car. When I mean a small car, you know what a small car is. Get a very small car. You understand me? That you can keep. If peradventure you stay out late anywhere at night with your big car, and then you notice that you have stayed till late night, or you have stayed till night and the night has covered, look for a way to get your small car to the environment. Drive yourself in your small car home. Your driver can bring the big cars later. You don't even need to inform your driver that you are driving yourself home. Look for how to do these things and then just get yourself safe. What I've just given you is a serious life-saving tips for prominent people. These are one of the things I don't even talk about on radio. I only talk to clients when prominent people consult me on their personal security. This is one of the things I tell them, but I just made it open now because I feel at this point in time, I will just give that one. I have a lot more in my shelves only for people who consult me. Now, having said that, it's important I re-emphasize what I said last week with regards to the state. Whoever controls the security of the state, legally or illegally controls the state. Legally, by being able to, within the law, control the police or whatever force that you have. And now, illegally, by being able to influence the authority. You understand me? Not just the authority, there are other non-state actors that people are able to influence them to keep them under their loyalty. So whoever controls security seriously controls the state. So it's important that at this point in time, the government of the state review their security. I don't want to go deep, but I'll be expecting that maybe the government this time will involve us. They will involve us in their security architecture so that we can be providing consultations within our own knowledge of security to aid their security arrangements within the states, just like we have been doing for one or two multinationals and oil firms and the other firms that has been consulting us on retainership. So at this point, we look forward to being able to work with the government to be able to create and advise, consult on some forms of security architecture we think should be put in place now and how they should review their security architecture. And if they do this, we are very, very certain that it is going to work. Then lastly, for those of you that are prominent again, it is important at this point where the state, the political divide is internally and they are trying to, I believe they are trying to make amends, but I don't know whether they are making amends or not. It's not my business to know. However, for those of you who are close to either of these parties, if you have a driver, if you have a gate man, if you have an armed security man, if you have a cook, a maid in the house, nannies and all of that, go and do a background check on all of them and have a management agency that will be running them and be monitoring them for you. Why? Because if your enemy, if your opponent intends to get information about you, it is this set of persons that your opponent will go to, directly or indirectly. Directly, knowing that they know you very well. For example, I can't see Oga no Daran, Oga no Deo, that's what they senior, honorable, Oga no Daran, okay, no problem. Oga they sleep. So you need to hand them over to a management that will groom them on how to respond to requests and informations and calls that has to do with you. They need to groom them on how to talk, how not to talk. They also need to make sure that they do a background check on all of them to know their previous antecedents and past. You understand me? And then moving forward, they need to be monitored by an agency that has the ability to do so. You understand me? You need to do this background check so that you don't end up falling victims to your enemy because of the lapses within your internal. Remember, these domestic staff, they are the least earners around you, but they have the highest access around you. Even people you pay millions don't have the kind of information your domestic staff has about you. So it's very important that you run a background check, especially for those of you in politics right now. It's now, even if you have done before, you have to redo and then place them under serious monitoring. Well, however, if you would like to conduct us or invite us or consult us to discuss more or invite us, I'm going to give you my phone number. After all, that is what we are here to do, to help the public. So for those of you who might have need my services or my expertise, I can also refer you to people who can do this proper background check for you as well as manage them for you that you can trust. You understand? So you can call me on 0803 945 6424. You can call me again 0803 945 6424. And aside calling me, you can also call members of my management team on 0706 048 7754. That's 0706 048 7754. You can also visit our social media page, Bosinde Life, on at Instagram. It is Bosinde Life, Facebook, Bosinde Life, Twitter, Bosinde Life, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We will upload this video so you can go and watch with other videos of so many other security tips on our YouTube. It's still Bosinde Life on YouTube. Don't forget to click the subscription button. Then we are still visiting churches. But when your church invites us, be rest assured we'll investigate your church before we come. We don't just go because you call us, we run down there. No. A lot happens. So we also investigate before we come down. You understand? So, but if your church is there and they want to have proper information on what to do with regards to security, I am available. You can also contact us through those numbers to come speak on security, answer questions, and even help them with their security issues that they may have. Teach them how to go about it and answer questions. Okay, you can still call that 0803 945 6424, or you go to the social media and Bosinde Life on any of your social media platforms. Bosinde Life is spelled BOSINDELIVE So you hit us up and we'll be sure to reach you back. The truth is that security is everybody's business. And whether you like it or not, we are all involved, directly or indirectly. So it's better you take the lead.
All right, thank you very much. That's it on Security Breach today, being the 8th day of November, Wednesday, 2023. Thank you very much, Ambassador Bosinde Araikpe. So we're moving now, and the news at 10 will be up next after this timeout.
Just like time.